and gentlemen, welcome back to TLT Talks. We have got a very, very important episode today. A very exciting guest, but more importantly, a very, very important episode. Today is entirely about a word that rivals the very fabric of everything we talk about here. We talk about mindset. Mindset is the foundation of absolutely everything that we do here. And today there's a word. I'm gonna let people join, and I'm gonna wait for our guest to come on. But as you guys are joining, what do you think that word is? What is something out there that is as important here? Does anyone have any ideas? If you're watching this not live, 1 week from now when we circulate it to everyone, you can feel free to write me. And Gregg Sugerman, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you,
Good
sir.
morning,
It's
sir.
been, we haven't spoken since, I don't know, like 10 minutes ago. How have you been?
That's right.
I
That's
missed
right.
you. I missed
That's
you so
right.
much.
Ditto, my man. Ditto. And for anyone that's watching this, maybe it's good afternoon, maybe it's good evening, not sure. So I open, Greg, by asking the audience what they think, if they had to take a guess, a word that's as powerful, the only thing that could potentially compete with mindset. And so let me introduce Greg by saying this guy is an absolute mindset Jedi. He's one of the founding coaches on the Compass platform. He exclusively coaches my team. And the reason we have Greg on today and the reason we're talking about all this is because the word we're referring to is consistency.
Ah,
Consistency. It's so easy to be awesome at anything once, and it is far less easy to be awesome at it over and over and over again, especially when it's mundane. They say all the great personal development minds, they say they're doing the ordinary things consistently and with high energy get you extraordinary results. Greggy, my man, why don't you tell our audience a little about yourself? I know how much you love talking about yourself.
yeah. Um, it's such a great word, isn't it? And it's like I've been in the coaching space for almost 10 years at this point, and it's only over the last year that I really realized, you know what? It all comes down to consistency, doesn't it? And I don't care what it is you do for a living. I don't care what it is that you're looking to achieve, what level of success you're looking to achieve in any area of your life. I don't care if it's business. I don't care if it's tennis or basketball or physical fitness, whatever it is. Consistency is what this is the secret to success in any area. So notice how I did that without talking about myself. Politician like right there.
Very,
But I
very.
will give you a little something about myself. Yeah. I am a coach. I'm a performance and mindset coach. I'm one of the founding partners in the Coaching at Compass marketplace, coaching marketplace rather, which I'm very proud of. And when you boil it all down, I help agents become more consistent in the area or areas of their business that matter the most, those things that move the needle farthest, fastest, because those
Wow.
are the important things. And as you know, those are the things that most agents can't seem to carve out time to do, the things that are actually going to bring revenue into their business because they're so busy just reacting
That's
all day
it.
long. So that's where I
Love
come in.
it. Oh, so good. So good. Consistency. It's such a,
Yep.
consistency, I feel very much like mindset. It's one of these like cliche words that just gets tossed around all the time without any real weight. And it's like, man, oh man, what a difficult thing it is to truly be consistent in the areas of your life that matter the most. There's a good friend of mine who's also a best-selling author, Nick. He talks about the inbox like an external to-do list. And then as him and I were smoking cigars in Macanudo, because that's where I love to take my meetings and my hangs, I said, let me add to that. It's an external to-do list for people who have no remorse about adding it to, because and I'm a culprit of this as well. I have no remorse about emailing somebody at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning, or I'm not that I'm ever really up that late, but as an example, or 11, 12 at night, because email is like, I'm going to put it in your world, and whenever you're ready, you're going to respond. But that means that when you wake up, the first thing in your to-do list is whatever I sent you last night. You multiply that by everyone. And so if your world is one, without time blocking, without a morning routine, without all the stuff, then you wake up and if the first thing you do is you grab your phone and you look, Well, all of a sudden, everyone's to-do is the first thing you look at, and it just can't feel good to start your day in that way. And most people will start their day already in arrears from the day before, especially if you're successful. So anyways, I'm on a bit of a tangent.
No,
Greggy,
wait, but it's
yeah.
really important. And I'm so glad you said that. And like, as we discussed, you knew when we talked, there's always
Yeah,
like, it's going to go this way, that way, this way.
that's right.
Email. Let's talk about email for a quick second because it's important. Email is the most reactive thing you can possibly be doing because what it represents is the entire outside world's agenda,
Yep,
right? And so if you
yep,
wake up in the morning and that's the first thing you do, whatever it is that you intended to do, that's out the window. You're going to see an email from a client about something that
yep.
happened last night that needs your attention and it's going to put you in a bad mood, or this thing needs to be rescheduled. You're going to jump on that. And then before you know it, it's 10 o'clock at night. And that
100%.
happens for weeks, for quarters. That can happen for an entire year.
Do you know
It's
what, my
like,
friend? Do you know what, my friend? That's the one thing real estate agents are really consistent with is their inboxes, allowing their inbox. Actually, I shouldn't even be limited to real estate people. People in
it's
general are
people.
so
Do
consistent
you know
at
why?
allowing their inbox to hijack their life. I'd love to know why.
So I work with a fantastic Compass agent out west, and she's really successful. But she said it, and she was including herself in this. She says, a lot of agents just pretend to work. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? She said, well, it's so easy for us to make ourselves busy and
Mhm.
feel like we're doing something. So you look at your email, yeah, you're working, you're doing busy work. So a lot of times someone will pick up their phone or jump on their laptop because they are trying to avoid organizing their CRM. They're trying to avoid making phone calls or prospecting, whatever it is that they do. So they pick up their phone, they look at their email, so they feel like, hey, I'm actually working.
Yep.
So
Oh,
yeah,
so
that's
good.
that.
So good. Then there's this whole idea of traction versus distraction, busy versus productive. Well, obviously, we love to have fun on the show. Greggy, before we dive in, fun fact, tell the people something fun about yourself.
So, boy, fun fact. Okay, so let's see. Things I love. Let's start there. I love all things rock and roll
You play
enthusiast, a
guitar, don't
fanatic.
you?
I do play guitar. Yeah, I've been playing since I was 13. Not as good as I should be for someone that's been playing that long, but I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Um, Play guitar, love that. What else do I love? I love all things sci-fi. I'm just a massive nerd. Um, and let's see what else. Oh, I'll give you a fun one. I am an unabashed, I don't care who knows about it. I'm an unabashed fan. Ready for this? Of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Don't care who knows it. I don't care. I love it. I can't get enough. If anyone's going to be in the comments, me and my wife have not finished the second episode of the reunion, so no spoilers, please. Thank you.
I'm
There you
judging
go.
you a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
A little
judging you.
bit?
I'm judging you a little
How long have we known each other? Don't lie to me. You're judging me a lot, dude. And I don't care. I told you, don't care. I'm good with it.
All right, so let me just, you kind of said this earlier. You kind of said this earlier to start the episode. And in my model of the world, entrepreneurial skills, like skills in general, can all be learned, can all be taught. But if your mindset is polluted, you don't have the space or the desire to learn these skills. And so, to me, the most important thing, the foundation, I was in two separate panels over the last 2 weeks, and each of them I was asked about keys for success and all these kind of things. And for me, the bedrock, the foundation of everything is mindset. You've got to have a healthy, resourceful mindset. And if there was anything, that's how I kind of started this episode. If there was anything that give mindset a run for its money, it's consistency. They kind of go hand
Yeah,
in
they do.
hand, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's consistency. And so, as you said, whether that's training, whether that's your, relationship, marital or boyfriend, girlfriend, or friendship, or, or if that's your business, or what, for any success in any area, what's critical is consistency. Actually, if you think about a marriage, most marriages fail because the consistency that was there in the beginning
Hmm.
of value add, of dating, of words of affirmation, of that kind of starts to fall off. And so, marriage starts to feel some pressure. Same in a business, we ramp up, we do all these things that ramp up our business. We get really busy, we stop doing those things, and then we have this roller coaster. So consistency is just everywhere. And Greg, you have this thing, this SOP, this distinction. What's a good name? What's a good adjective? This program. I don't know. Whatever the right word is
Principles.
for it. principle,
principles,
yeah.
laws,
Yeah,
blueprint.
that everyone in Compass kind of talking about. It's the 7 principles of consistency.
Yeah,
So normally the frame of the show, there's 3 topics. We bounce around a little bit. But actually today, what I thought we would do is maybe go through these principles. We get as far as we can get. If we get cut off halfway, maybe we do a part 2 at some point, because you and I can be chatty. But I would love to communicate to everyone that's going to watch this live now, or the 100,000 people that are going to watch it when we email it out. You've created some gold here, and I'd love to unleash it to the world. So the floor is yours, my friend. Let's go
awesome.
through these principles.
And usually this is a longer thing, so you're going to have to pace me. If you need to speed me up, just speed me up. Just say so. So first, before I get into the 7 principles of consistency, I want to start by saying this is from a workshop that I've done a couple of times over the last few weeks.
Mm.
And when people sign up for my workshops, I survey them and I ask them, one of the questions I ask them is, what has inconsistency cost you? I ask them to identify what it is that they're looking to be consistent with and what has it cost them not being consistent there. And I had several people tell me in upwards of $200,000 in lost revenue. Okay, so when we're talking about this, and I know we're having fun, but I want everyone to realize that being inconsistent, very expensive. It costs
Mm.
you a lot. So be aware of that as we go through this. Okay, so
Well, hang on, sorry.
consistency
And
number
that
one.
and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just the money. What
right.
about the heartache, the
Emotions,
drama, the dream?
experiences,
Oh yeah.
missed
The feeling of
vacations.
stuckness. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't
Oh
take
yeah.
that vacation now. I have to do this. I can't go away
Oh
with
yeah.
you. We can't do this as a family. Yeah, it's
Oh
I'm
yeah.
glad you said that. It's
Oh
expensive
yeah.
in more ways than money.
That's right.
Okay. The first principle, I think people look around at people that are consistent in any area of their life or their business, and they think that person has more willpower, that person has more discipline, that person has whatever. Now, could that be true? Yeah. Is that true most of the time? I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
If you look at anybody that's consistent in any area, you will notice that they have, whether they know it or not, they've designed their world to be more consistent. So the first principle is that consistency requires design. So if you're going to write stuff down, write this down. Lack of consistency is a design problem before it is a discipline problem, right?
Mhm.
So consistency just doesn't happen, and it needs to be prepared for. Okay, and I have a really cool. You remember Eugene, the world's worst acronym, IB Tembo.
I
Now I
love
have an acronym
IB
that's going to blow
Tempo.
you. This one is going to blow you away. So the acronym here is design, and we'll go through this
Nice.
real quickly. D, your digital spaces. So pick something that you want to be more consistent with. Let's say you want to be more consistent prospecting. Look at your digital space. Is it a mess? Is it organized? Is it conducive to you being consistent in that area? So that's digital. E is your execution space, your physical workspace, your home office, your home, your office at your office, your car, whatever it is your environment conducive to being consistent in the area you want to be consistent with, or is it a mess? There's a great quote that I love to take credit for, but it's not mine. I don't know who said it though. When your space is cluttered, your mind is cluttered. When your mind is cluttered, your decisions are cluttered. So
Oh, that's good.
execution space. The S is for social influences. Are you surrounding yourself with people who make you being consistent more difficult? People
Mm.
who are a drain on your energy or your time, or you're surrounding yourself with people that get it. Like, hey, I'm looking to be more consistent here. I need support around that. I is for interruptions eliminated. Are you proactively trying to limit those things that distract you from being consistent? Then G, we have guarding your time,
Mm.
right? Do you have time blocks in place to do whatever it is that you're looking to be more consistent with? And are those blocks NMFN, which is non MFing negotiable, right? And it's an important piece. And then N,
Mm.
and you're going to love this one, Eugene. This is about having a network of accountability. Notice how I didn't
Mm.
just say accountability, a network.
Mm.
I have found that the most successful people that I've coached or been around or studied, they use accountability as a tool. It's a weapon. And they don't just put one thing in
Yeah.
place. They hire a coach or multiple coaches, friends, family, colleagues. They have multiple points of accountability because they want to make sure that they position themselves for success when it comes to being more consistent. So did you want to stop there and break any of this down, or you want to
Yeah,
keep going?
so good. No, that was great. I do want to stop there. And actually, let me take the pressure of time. If you're open to it, I want to take the pressure off. I would love to just do next month a part 2. Let's get through
Sure,
2 or 3 today, and then next month we'll hit the rest of them. Because
sure,
I just think this is so powerful. It's not at all limited to real estate or entrepreneurs. This is
no,
for everybody on the planet and for everything in the planet. And so I love so much of what you just said. Design's really cool. Actually, when this thing gets posted, If you don't mind coming in and just commenting the acronym, I think people would appreciate
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
And so James Clear is one of the authorities on
Yeah.
consistency. And he talks about you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. That's something we hardcore preach on our team. But all of those principles, I mean, a calendar, time blocking, we've done that on the show so many times. If people will look at my calendar, and if anyone that's not seen my calendar, feel free to request. I'm happy to send you a screenshot. My calendar from, I don't know, 4:50 a.m. to like noon every day from now, I could show you 1 year out. There's time block, there's intention. And sometimes like when I'm, we've opened our recruiting doors, we're talking to a couple different agents because the business is exploding a bit. And when I'm showing people what do we do, and everyone that looks at my calendar for the first time, there's this gasp. There's this like, oh my God.
That's
And
why
for
that's why I was laughing. In case anyone wondered why I just randomly broke
yeah.
into laughing, because I've seen his calendar and it's a scary place. It's a
Well,
challenging place.
what's interesting, and this is how I communicated. So in the calendar, you could tick yourself up. And so, like, as I'm having this conversation and I feel people's overwhelm over my calendar, like, you know what overwhelms me? And I take it off and the calendar goes blank. That's fear for me. Fear for
Yeah.
me is I wake up in the morning or I'm getting ready for tomorrow and I don't have a yellow brick road. I don't have a step-by-step set of directions of what tomorrow needs to look like. And specifically that all the things for tomorrow are stepping stones to something bigger, because anyone could do anything when they feel like it's part of a whole and a stepping stone to something bigger. But like, if I tell you go work out in the gym every day and you'll get no gains ever, I mean, you're probably not going to the gym. But if you know this once a day, plus all the others I'm going to do over 3 months, and I will experience some whatever you're optimizing for. So when I think of time blocks and owning your time and everything you talked about, I mean, all of that we could put under time blocking and time management. And the reality is time is finite, meaning if you don't put something in that time goes away. Money comes and goes. Time only goes. You can never get the time
That's it.
back. And so if your day or your week isn't pre-planned, first of all, someone will find things for you to do, or you'll find some bullshit for yourself to do. So there's just got to be this like aggressive ownership
Mm.
over time and planning and preemptive, and all that starts with just understanding that the only way there can be consistency is with some set of processes, procedures. Even like I would qualify myself as somebody very motivated, but only because of my processes and systems and
Yeah.
my time blocks. Without that, I wouldn't even know where to direct the motivation. I would just be like Taz. So I'll pause there. But yeah, so
Y-
powerful.
you have designed your world in a way that helps you be more consistent. That's exactly
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
talking
right.
about. And
That's right.
specificity is a big part of it. So the second principle is that consistency is not about the
Mm,
prize, it's about the process. And this
mm,
goes right back to what you were just talking about right there. So
yeah,
it's common knowledge, right? I know common self-development, just accepted as law, is that, you just focus on the goal and you obsess over it. I find it's a lot more helpful to figure out what it is that you want. So I want to be more consistent nurturing my leads, and whatever it is for
yeah,
you. You figure that out, then you figure out the process that's going to get you there, and then you completely forget about your objective.
that's
And
it.
what you do is you obsess over the process. You fall in love with the process. How can I make this better? How can I make this more efficient? How can I improve this? How can I make this more fun? And you're always in that process and you're falling in love with the process because you know if you follow that process, you know it's going to take you to that outcome.
Oh,
If you
so true.
nurture your leads on a consistent basis for an entire year, you know it's going to lead to deals. If you are just in your CRM, if you are on top of it, if you are tagging and organizing and using that CRM like a weapon, like the weapon it should be, you
Mhm.
know it's going to lead to your outcome. So it's all about the process. And I find that really kind of takes the pressure off of, oh my God, it's only January and or it's March already, April, whatever the hell month it is. And like, am I going to achieve my goal or am I not going to achieve my goal? No, just fall in love with the process and stay there.
Oh, so good, man. So good. It's like, I was on the phone with my personal coach this morning, and as an example, we were talking about like processes, critical drivers, these KPIs, all this different stuff. And as an analogy, he brought up the scale. He goes, when people are on a weight loss journey, the only reason to get on the scale is to see if the cheat meal showed up. Because if you just follow the plan, if you do the caloric count or the caloric deficit, if you go to the gym, if you do the yoga, whatever plan you've designed for yourself, assuming it's a plan that works, you just execute on the plan.
That's it.
You're gonna be fine. You only get on the scale because, oh man, I had that cookie last night, or I had that cheat meal, or I drank, or I didn't do the workout, or whatever. And so, yeah, man, that's so spot on. And so if you are a real estate team optimizing for 100 real estate transactions, it's February, that 100 number is basically
Yeah.
meaningless. And instead, where the focus needs to be is exactly that, qualifying the CRM and the 10, 15, 20, 30 calls a day and the appointments, and then not going to email first, but going to your time block first and whatever is part of that plan. Yeah, I can agree more. This idea of everything we do in our world, it's actually also how we do real estate. When we talk to sellers or buyers or landlords or developers, the conversation is always, let's start with the outcome. Let's reverse engineer the outcome. Let's build a plan to get to the outcome. Once we reverse engineer the plan, actually, Michael Rima, who I think is watching right now, he's got a line. You don't worry. You take care of the minutes. The hours take care of themselves. You set the outcome. You reverse engineered. You just hit the steps you designed, and the outcome will take care of itself. And so, fall in love with the process. So good.
And
So good.
and
So
then the
good.
third goes perfectly dovetails with that, and that is trust the damn process. If you've
Yeah.
identified this process, you fall in love with it, you obsess over it, you're always looking to make it better. Trust the process. You're all in a business if you're a real estate agent, where and I know we're talking to more than agents here, but let's
Yeah.
just stay there for a second. Like I keep going back to, if you are going to consistently prospect over the course of a year, you know it's going to work. A year, 18 months, whatever it is, you know ultimately it's going to work. If you plant something, it will grow if you're taking care of it. And speaking of that, right, and trust the damn process, you know how Chinese bamboo grows?
Oh, it's so funny you bring that up. Why don't you tell our audience?
So Chinese bamboo, you plant it, you water it every day for 5 years. And in that 5 years, when it comes to what you see above the soil is absolutely nothing. Zero, nothing, nothing's going on. After 5 years, it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. Now, what was going on underneath the soil for that 5 years? Nothing? No, of course not. It was
Yeah.
establishing a root system to support that insane amount of growth that it's going to go through in 5 years. And your business and your life when it comes to these things is exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Just because you're not seeing the result right away, so many people quit way too fast. They don't
Way
see
too
results
fast.
right away, and they move on to something else and they wonder why nothing is working. Things work. Like again, you're in a business where if you're nurturing, if you're doing this, if you're lead prospecting, if you're farming, those things will work, but they probably won't work if you think you're going to spend 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months and expect to see 40 transactions from it. It just doesn't work that way. So
Yeah, so
trust the
true.
process.
So true, man. It's so funny you brought that up. Maybe we talked about it, but I just got challenged with that analogy very recently, maybe 30 days ago. I was talking about something that wasn't working, and now there's finally something. And I was like, and the language because language is so important and powerful. That might be a third, right? Like mindset. I guess language falls under mindset, but mindset, consistency, language, somewhere up there, somewhere maybe in the trifecta. I was like, I just can't believe how often I fail at this. And the person stopped me and goes, no,
Mm.
you were just growing roots. And I was like, what do you mean? And they gave me this Chinese bamboo tree
Oh,
scenario.
wow.
And they're like, so how long has it been? I'm like, well, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years in the first. So maybe it's finally time for you to sprout. And I was like, dude, I don't know if that's bullshit or not, but what a great story. What a great and powerful, resourceful story to operate from, to now go and actually execute. And the reality is that, like, more than even like trusting the process and loving the process, we get out a fourth word, energy. If you approach things with a level of, I'm going to do it to the best. Actually, I think Terry Crews gives an interview on this. He goes, I was sweeping floors, but anything that I did, I approached it like I'm getting $1 million to do this. So if I had to sweep the floors, it's like I would treat that process, I would treat sweeping the floors as if I'm getting paid $1 million to do it. And he goes on not to
Mm.
give more examples. So like prospecting isn't sexy, writing a newsletter isn't sexy. No one that I know sits down and is about to start cold calling. They're like, whoa, I can't wait to get hung up on.
Right.
But what if you looked at that, and what if every call was worth $2,000? Like what if you looked at it in a way like the level of energy you bring to any small task will totally dictate how that task performs, and that in a compounding effort across all these small things that lead to the outcome will have such a paramount effect. But that bamboo tree, it's so crazy you brought that up because it just came into my. I'm so versed in the personal development space, but in all that time, never did I hear that one up until about 30 days ago.
Funny
Like,
how that
hear this
works.
again.
And now you
Hear
can't
this
get away
again.
from it. Yeah, and I'll
No,
share
that's it.
one quick story, which goes to exactly what we're talking about. I work with a Compass agent in San Diego. I won't give her name because we didn't discuss me bringing her name into this. But anyhow, I don't think she'd mind. But anyhow,
Good.
she picked a neighborhood in San Diego and decided I'm going to door knock this area, right? This is going to be my farm. She has a door knocking partner because she didn't want to do it alone. They went around this neighborhood for, I think, 14 months without getting a deal. And they just closed on a $3.5 million listing that sold for $200,000 over ask. That's consistency. That's trusting the process. That's the bamboo growing underground and you don't
Oh
see it.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, boom, it just took one. And then now what happens? Everybody in that pocket is like, whoa, you sold what for how much?
Yep.
Oh, we
Yep.
should talk. And then
Yep.
there you go. It's a perfect example of what we're talking about.
Yep. And whoever this agent is, stand guard at the gates of your process because now you got that one. You'll probably get three or four more. But here's the $1 million question: will you continue door knocking? And that's
Oh,
the.
yeah, she will, but
I
I know
hope
what you're
so. I
talking about.
hope,
I know what
yeah,
you're
because
talking about.
that's what you get busy. 3, 4, 5 listings. We want door knock this week. We want door knock next week, and then before you know it, those listings sell, those buyers buy, and you're now back to square one. So that's the
Here's
part of consistency that is like back to full circle.
And then here's something that everybody can relate to. What you're talking about is the person that says, I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to watch what I eat. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do all the right things. And then their pants or their dress, whatever, starts fitting loose, funny, and it's weird. And they
Mm-hmm.
got all this space and they're like, oh my God, it's working. This is great. I feel amazing. I have all this energy. And they're like, okay, cool. I can stop doing that stuff now. And then
I could have a burger.
months
I'm
later,
never gonna
they're
have a
like,
burger again.
and then six
Yeah,
months later,
yeah,
they're like, what happened?
yep,
You stopped
yep.
doing all the stuff that got you
Exactly,
to that point is what happened.
exactly,
So what did we get through? We
exactly.
got through three.
We got through
That's pretty
three.
good.
That's
We got
awesome.
more. This
That's
is a
awesome.
they call this
That's
a
awesome.
teaser.
That's it. That's it. Well, and just to go back one final thought, then I'm gonna have you share your contact info, and then we'll adjourn for the day. If anyone is curious, look up a penny a day. What's that? A penny a day, or $1 million up front, or a penny
Something
double a
like
day for
that.
30 days. That's a really good example of what consistency and compounding can do for you. Greggy, we'll pause here. I would love to have you back next month, and we'll just continue
Done.
from 4 on. We'll figure out the dates with our people. First of all, any final thoughts? Second of all, let people know how they can find you if they want to call you, coach with you, ask a question, whatever it is.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Really final thoughts, just what we were talking about with consistency. Just understand that if you are one of these people, which is most of us, by the way, I'm not immune to this, who have tried to be consistent in whatever area it is and you have not gotten there yet, understand there's nothing wrong with you. It's not a
Yeah.
willpower thing, it's not a
That's,
discipline thing. Understand that there is a process that you can follow that will make you more consistent. So I hope everybody that's listening, I hope you took that away. In terms of contact information, I guess the easiest place, because this is on Instagram, so just you see me here on this Instagram thing, just contact me, message me, or you can email me, Greg at greggsugerman.com, and that's Gregg at Greggsugerman. If you're a Compass agent, I am in the Coaching at Compass Marketplace. And yeah, there you go, man. This has been fun. It's always fun when I'm on here
yeah.
with you.
Yeah, it's
Love
good. Thank
this.
you so much. By the way, my final thoughts are if consistency is not something you have total mastery over, and really, I don't know that anyone ever fully masters consistency.
Right.
Even just pronouncing the word consistently isn't necessarily easy.
Consistently
Uh,
consistent.
yeah, that's it. Reach out to Greg. He is absolutely a master in this space, someone that I trust to coach our entire team exclusively in this space. And so, Greggy, always a pleasure, my man.
Love it. And hey, here's something to take away if you're a real estate agent listening to this. More consistency equals more closings. It's pretty simple.
Pretty
Pretty
simple.
simple.
Have a good one, brother. Have a great weekend.
Good seeing you. Thanks, Eugene. Thanks, everybody.